In this video training session, we'll be discussing about different basic surface creation methods. Then we'll primarily focus on the blending boundaries, how to do a variable section sweep, how to use different surface editing tool. Before starting this, I'll give a quick review on different basic surface commands and overview of that. So initially we'll start with the basic surfaces. If you see the extrude, within extrude you have a solid which you create a default solid, and if you create the cross section that may be open or close, and but if you click this surface option, then you will be getting this type of object, and this is valid for your revolve as well. If you see the revolve, we have a cross section which you can see. There is a cross section, and if I'll select the solid and see the preview, this is the solid, but if you go to surface and open-ended revolve profile will be created. So this is valid for sweep as well. If you see the cap end type of profile, inside nothing is there, and if you see edit definition options, here you have the cap end, and in case of without cap end this will be open, and if you go for cap end this will be enclosed, and inside complete cavity is there. Just like that you have for the revolve as well. This is the case which we took earlier. Go to right click and edit it, edit definition, and go to options, and here if you switch off you can see this is the default output which we have generated earlier, and if you go to capped end the ends will be capped. Just like that you have for the sweep also, open-ended sweep, you have the sweep cross section and the profile, and you can have the close boundary type also. In case of cap ended property, you can see here, right click, I'll go to edit definition. Here you can see the attribute type open ended or capped ended. So this end will be capped when you go for a surface, and these options you can select insert, extrude, revolve, sweep. You have surface, blend also you have surfaces, so you can choose these surfaces. Just like that you can have open-ended blend. This is the blend, you can see the sections, this is the section. Right click, you can have the toggle, this is the second section open-ended. Then you have to add the heights, and also here you have the attribute, the straight, open-ended or capped ended. Here also you can do the same operation. These are very simple, which already you have applied in case of solid, and here quickly I have shown you. So let us start using the blending boundaries. The blending boundaries is something which you can find in the blend options, where you can have multiple boundary directions or single. For example, if you see this as your output, these are my directions. You go to boundary blend. Here you can see the primary direction and second direction. Primary direction I am selecting this. Control, by pressing control key, this I am adding. I am going to second direction. This is my second direction. By control I am adding this as my another direction. So in this way you can form the surface patch by following two different directions. But in case of single directions, the scenario will be different. Let us say only I am following this direction, so go to boundary blend, control this plus this, and without following this direction the surface will be generated. In the same way you can have also other direction, bounded blend, this, I'll go for control. This, the surface will be formed in between these two directions. So single directions or multi directions, both you can have single directions or multi directions you can have also. For example, in this case also you can take, go to boundary blend, you start with a proper section, then by control you can follow your sections, and what you can do is the curves, here you have close blend, so this open end will be automatically closed. If you have second directions like the bounding strings, then also you can do it. So in this way you can use your bounded blend to test different cases. This also we saw first direction and the second direction case, creating surface by a variable section sweep, that also we can see. This is the case. Just you can go to the variable section sweep and you can create this sorts of simple profile. And this is the direction vector, and by touching all this you directly can go for a cross section which it follows, and after that you can create through these sections. In the same way it will follow the directions, the cross section may be anything. For example, if you see this particular section, if you go to edit definition and you go for the reference, the 5 directions are there. If you go to sketch, here by touching all these 4 points we have created one circle from the base, so automatically it will vary and it will end at the end. So how you can trim surfaces with respect to a curve, that we'll look into. For this purpose, let us form a particular sheet to test it. So what you can do is you can go to sketch and you can create a surface patch. Once you create this, you go to edit and you can go to fill, so that this will be filled. You go to sketch, for trimming you can have your profile, and that profile you can directly select. Let us say this profile is, I have to take the reference, you can go for edge reference. And just convert this to, after creating this, let us say this is the profile which I would use for trim, and now I don't need this, accept. So with respect to this particular curve, I will be trimming this, so you can directly go to select, this is your trim with respect to this curve, and you can switch the side, which side you want to keep. Like this you can trim your cross section, which is very simple, and you can apply this. Next we'll see how you can do the mirroring of a surface with respect to the mirror plane. For mirroring purpose, we can take a symmetric cross section which we can use for our mirroring purpose. This is the profile. I will be selecting this, and here you have the surface mirror. You select your symmetric plane and this will be mirrored. And now we will look at how you can merge multiple surfaces, and we will see the trimming scenario as well. And trimming and merge both we can see, and already we saw these fill surfaces. Let us check this. So this is the model where first we will check the trim, then we will go for a single sheet conversion. This is the sheet which I am selecting. Then you can see you can go to trim with respect to this. So the side you can select, this you need to keep, or outside you need to keep, that directly you can select here. So fundamentally I need to keep only this side. So during modeling I have to be very careful when I will select this, edit definition. So this side you can also go for blind, and this will be up to selected, that is this surface. So this you have to control it. So otherwise you won't be able to control your positions. So I will show you how you can do this. So for doing this I have to create one datum plane ahead of this, and I don't need this, so I will be deleting this. I will go to extrude, I will select this plane, I will take the bottom reference, I will go for the cross section which I will be using for trimming purpose. I will trim the downside, I don't need this. I will go to accept, and we can go for close because we have to choose surface option. So once you switch to surface you can delete this bottom one, because you can go for a surface case of open profile. I will switch this, right click and go to selected, and here you can see the feature failed to regenerate. So in this particular case, why this is not possible, that you have to understand here. Up to next, if you go for, automatically it will merge with this, because there is a vertical reference and here it is tilted. Now I will be selecting this, I will go to trim with respect to this, select it clearly, this is the primary surface. I will go to trim with respect to this, and you have to choose the side with respect to which you are going to trim, and you can generate your output, but still it is failing. The reason is this particular tipping point where this is not touching here properly. So what you have to do is go to edit definition, and here you can go for the particular control up to selected, and still it is not working, and you go for some extra portion and select this and go to trim with respect to this. Now you can see the output. So whichever you need to keep or which you don't want, that you can select here. I need to keep outside, and this will be done. Now this will be trimmed. Now you can merge this both the separate part, select this and select this, and you go for merge. When you go for merge, here also you have side, which side you need to keep, which side you don't want to keep. So this is the merging, and now you can assign a unique thickness, select this, go to edit and go to thicken, and here you have, let us say, a thickness of 5, which directly you can assign to this combined solid. So this is the approach where you go for the trim and merge. And we can also go for intersection in the way which I have shown you. Next we'll see the offset. Any particular curve or surface, if you want to offset, you directly select this, go to edit and go to offset, and here you can offset in the right directions. Inside options you can see the create the side offset. You can do the side offset as well, or only you can have this particular surface as a offset. And within offset also you have a couple of advanced options where you can directly replace your surface. This particular surface I need to replace with this, so you can select it, go to edit, offset, and here you have one option known as replace. If you go to replace and select this surface patch, this will be replaced with respect to this one. So in this way you can do the replace and offset also. You can have direct draft control over a particular surface. You can use this for embossing, engraving, etc. So I will show you how you can do this. Let us say, for very simple example, I am taking one cylindrical surface. And this cylindrical surface I am switching here, and I am giving a height of 250, and I will go to placement, edit, and this dimension also I am going for 200. Now I need to work over this particular surface, so I am creating a front plane, directly front, maybe here, and go to sketch, and here I am writing a letter L, maybe. I will go to text, this is the height, and I am going for L. You have to write it in the right direction, start point, this is my height, and I will go for L, OK, and you can control the dimensions as well. Now directly you go to this particular surface, edit, offset. Within offset you have a draft control. Once you go to draft control, here you have sketch, go to reference, sketch, define. In this particular plane already I have defined the sketch. So what I have to do is I have to just go for the chain and select this. Or you can go for single and select all this single item. So after selecting this complete loop, close it and accept it, and now this particular L will be projected over and with a particular draft and height. Height is 5, and I am assigning a draft of 5 degrees or maybe 15 degrees. This draft you can find here, and you can see the preview. This will be projected here, and also you can switch the direction so that it will be engraved or embossed in the same way. So this directly you can do to test the cases. Expand feature, just like that you can expand it over the particular face, and replace face already we saw. How to add a thickness, that also we saw. Next we'll see how you can convert a surface to solid. Let us say this I need to convert to a solid. So for that purpose I have to cap this both the ends. This particular surface I have to go to fill. So for filling purpose you have to create a sketch which encloses this. So I will be creating a datum plane at a height of 200, whatever the height I have given, 250. Yes, you go to sketch, select this top plane, and directly go to project, and you can project your sketches. This is the outside, and after selecting this you go to edit and fill it so that this one will be patched. Just like that, I'll go for a sketch at the bottom portion, and I'll go for offset this to this, and here also I can go to edit and fill it. Now this whole complete solid, I have to merge it, this, control this particular object, and this I have to go for merge. Once this is merged, this merge with the top face, I have to again go for merge, and this is a single object now. Now if you go to edit, and here you have solidify, and directly this will be converted to a solid. So how can you confirm it? You go to view manager, you go to cross section, go to new, add a cross section, planner, done, and select any cross section. You can directly see that this is a solid. So in this way, a solid can be created out of a surface boundary or domain. And in this particular project, I will show you how to handle this so that you can practice it. In the way we have created this, so you have to create a cone and you have to revolve it, and after that all these three different surfaces you have to extrude it, then all this end you have to patch it, and you have to go for trim, then you have to merge it. In this way you have to create the first surface, then you extrude it and extend it, just like that the another side you have to do. But here primarily you have a conical surface, 35 is the inner dia and 25 is the outer dia. So in between this you can create directly a boundary blend, or you can revolve it as well. And after that you go for the trim, and after trimming you go for the merge and get this final object, and add the fillet at the exteriors and get the final object. In this way the second project also can be approached. You have to go for this extrude. After going for this extrude, you directly go for another extrude, or you can go for revolve and create this, and go for trim and then merge it, and another cylinder you create for creating this particular feature, this one, and trim it and merge it. So when you extrude a particular cylinder, you will be creating this type of surface. You can directly see when you trim this, and finally you will be getting your final object. Thank you.